Today's very latest news coming to you first from the fabulous Pattaya Media Group here in Pattaya. And if you could like and subscribe, that would be amazing. Thank you. As reported earlier in the week, a committee was meeting to review minimum wages in tourist areas, and that's now been finalised, seeing a hike in some 10 regions within provinces, including our own of Pattaya, from mid-April. Applying specifically to those employed in tourism-related businesses in the hotels, the hike has seen the minimum daily wage raised to 400 baht. Reality is, as we said before, that most of those businesses compete for staff and already pay well over that. But for many, in menial positions, the hike is certainly worthwhile, as the standard national minimum varies from 330 to 370, depending on province. Same-sex unions, essentially legal marriages, got one step closer to reality in Thailand this week as the House of Representatives passed a marriage equality bill that will allow members of the same gender to register their relationships and would result in an automatic right to inheritance, along with shared rights and the legal right to adopt children as a couple. The bill is set to be debated by the Senate, Thailand's second house, by the end of next week, and ahead of the final day of the current parliamentary session, and if passed would see amendments made to some 68 edicts within the Civil and Commercial Code. The incidence of so-called foreign youthful bloggers causing problems with Thais is on the increase, as more and more seem to arrive here only to embarrass their fellow countrymen by doing anything they can to intimidate locals, just to get a response on their often poorly watched live streaming. Now coming under the watchful eye of authorities, many wander the streets being rude, shouting and actually ending up in confrontations or fights with Thais, and chances are more will face arrest. At least 2 American wannabe stars have been highlighted this week, all supplying damning evidence in their stream, and with at least one, dafter perhaps than the others, openly smoking an e-cigarette while spouting basically rubbish and begging for funds. American Jeremiah Branch, who appears to hero worship another whose claim to fame recently was being locked up by Japanese police who'd had enough of him, may only be getting a few dozen views on his banal streaming, but is putting himself in the spotlight for authorities at least, as are indeed numerous others.
No, you. You squirt now, nigga. Say it again, say it again, mother. Say it again, Pat. I'm YouTuber. Yo, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm American. I'm American. Alright, you wanna fight? Alright. That's okay. Okay. You not hitting nothing. Chat. He not hitting nothing. He hit nothing over here, bro.
In Pattaya Tai, 500 pounds of ketamine was seized by police during a raid that followed a tip-off, seeing 4 men and 2 women arrested. They'd been snitched on by others who were arrested earlier in the month as part of an operation to close down a massive drug gang. All 6 are now making statements themselves in an attempt to reduce their own inevitable sentences. A body discovered in Nakhon Si Thammarat this week is thought to be that of a missing cockfight promoter, sought since the end of January. Discovered buried in a rural area and with arms and legs bound, it's believed he disappeared after a row over money with gamblers and gangsters. Police are seeking at least 3 suspects. Meanwhile at home and in Pattaya, the Battle of the Vans has seen police investigating 2 rival van drivers who drove at each other in a pub car parkway after closing time and before dawn this week. With 3 different van drivers being sought, it's clear that Chinese tourists had been turned away by security at the club since it was closing, when police called for backup to deal with the initial tussle between club staff and punters. Locally, an appeal went out yesterday to expats with blood group O negative. This is a former restaurant owner and property developer who was in urgent need. Andre, from the outback on the dark side, appears to have had a motorbike accident out at the lake and was being treated in intensive care along with his daughter at Bangkok Pattaya Hospital. With operations carried out yesterday, we're reminded that this type of blood, O negative, is extremely rare in Asia and as a result is a constant need of donations. Giving is easy and can be done at the main hospital in Chonburi City. Driving into the city this week, well, best to avoid Pattaya Tai from the Sukhumvit all the way through, as teams are operating over a dozen high cranes, causing serious congestion whilst removing the now redundant telegraph poles along the road. Yesterday saw traffic chaos as the Sukhumvit was blocked at times as maintenance crews worked to complete the removal that follows the successful burying of cables around the city in previous months. For safety reasons, traffic cops have to stop passing traffic at times and at other times operate like human traffic lights. And if you're a coffee lover, then next week will be a treat, as in Central Pattaya Shopping Mall, from Wednesday, the largest coffee festival takes place, offering over 50 specialist cups of joe, promising workshops for prospective coffee makers along with competitions. In addition to various strains of beans, we can also expect doughs that have passed through the digestive tracts of animals. A favourite of many, elephant and even weasels, are fed beans which pass through unbroken, but gaining a distinct flavour, each to their own. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 32 degrees, dropping down to 28, but with the real feel of 38, as the sun will break through high clouds, despite winds and the chance of storms at any time. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.